Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'll be continuing showcasing the various empires we've created in our South Asian D&D setting. In a previous upload we talked about the Vedaran Republic, which was heavily inspired by the Indus Valley civilization, and in this video we'll be covering the second empire we made, which is called the Vedaran Empire. Just quickly, for those who don't know, at Diadamo Publishing we've spent the last 2 years creating a South Asian inspired Dungeons and Dragons setting called the Guru's Teaching of Bharaja, aka InD&D. Traditionally, Dungeons & Dragons has been a very Eurocentric and Tolkien-esque affair, so we thought we'd create something a little bit different. If you want to know more about why we've done what we've done, feel free to check out our previous videos which detail our motivations and aspirations for the project. So the second empire in Bharaja is the Vedaran Empire, which draws inspiration from the Vedic period, which takes place between 1500 and 500 BCE. Just like in the video about the Vedaran Republic, I'll firstly go through a bit of the history, then move on to our fictional empire later on in the video, and hopefully you'll be able to see how the two relate. The Vedic period takes place following the collapse of the Indus Valley civilization, when waves of migration occurred where tribes moved from the river valleys to the Punjab area. It's also the period where the Vedas were composed. The Vedas are large collections of worshipped hymns which form the basis of modern Hinduism, and contributed to the foundation of several cultural aspects of the Indian subcontinent. During this time, the Vedas were composed and orally transmitted through the ancient language of Vedic Sanskrit, which predated the advent of writing by several centuries. Vedas are Smrti, which in Sanskrit means what is heard, distinguishing them from other religious texts referred to as Smrti, which is what is remembered. In Hinduism, it is considered that the Vedas are sacred sounds heard by ancient sages after intense meditation. The mantras, which are the oldest part of the Vedas, are considered to be primordial rhythms of creation, and by reciting them the cosmos is regenerated by enlivening and nourishing the forms of creation at their base. There are 4 different Vedas: the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Samaveda, and the Atharva Veda. Veda itself means knowledge, and the prefixes of each have different meanings. Rig translates to praise, Yajur means worship, Sama refers to song, and Atharva refers to knowledge about daily rituals. These Vedas cover a wide variety of topics including mantras, invocations, rituals, ceremonies, sacrifices, meditation, philosophy, and spiritual knowledge. Some scholars add a 5th category, the Upasanas, which covers more content on worship. From information gathered in the Rig Veda, the oldest of the Vedas, we know that a warrior society formulated during the early Vedic period, where migrating tribes engaged in endemic warfare against themselves and against their enemies. Military conflicts between the various Vedic tribes was very common and culminated in what is known as the Battle of the 10 Kings. The battle took place on the banks of the river Ravi between one powerful tribe and 9 others who had formed an alliance. And that covers the inspiration. Now onto the Vedaran Empire we created. In the Vedaran Empire there are 5 families, each with the responsibility of protecting unique sacred scripts known as the Vedas. These scripts contain hymns which, if read aloud, allows the reader to draw an immense amount of power. The 5 families serve as protectors of each Veda, and is a task passed down from generation to generation. Once members of these families reach a certain age, they are allowed to read from these sacred scripts, hone their gifted powers, and use these skills for the purpose of their continued security. The empire is centrally located in Bharaja and is the smallest in all the land. The 5 scripts include the Veda of Avasa, sound, the Veda of Jidagi, life, the Veda of Kharaba, decay or absorption, the Veda of Manna, telekinesis or telepathy, and the Veda of Shakti, strength. Each family's surname takes after the Veda they protect. The Jidagi family are immortals who are able to gift life energy to other living beings or objects. The Kharaba family, on the other hand, are able to be immortal via absorbing the life force of living beings or living objects. A member of the Kharaba family, Dossa, recently faced an existential crisis. He became ridden with a tremendous amount of guilt for continuously taking the life force of others in order to remain alive, but feared death more so. The logical conclusion he came to was absorbing the life force of a member of the Jidagi family in the hopes that he would acquire their power in the process. The lesser of 2 evils, as he saw it: take one more life instead of many more, and escape the clutches of death forever. One fateful night, Dossa enacted his plan and absorbed the life force of one of the members of the Jidagi family in the hopes that he would gain their powers of immortality without having to repeatedly feed off others. It worked. Now Dossa could absorb or give life energy at will. However, this amount of power is more than what any mortal should bear. His mind became twisted and Dossa fled to the outskirts of the Empire. He has not been seen since. Meanwhile, the Empire is left in disarray. The Jadagi, seeing their fallen family member blinded by revenge and the lack of reasoning as to why this happened to their loved one, look to take an eye for an eye. Not only that, they believe to prevent this from occurring ever again, the Kharaba family must be destroyed, as does their Vedar. And that is the Vedaran Empire. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you're interested in what we're doing, do hit subscribe or follow. Next up is the Decay Empire. Stay tuned for that video coming soon.